Imagine a deserted road cutting through the dense forests of Wisconsin, where the wind whistles through the trees as if sharing forgotten secrets. Brothers Lucas and Dante Marconi, heirs to their family's hunting legacy, are on what seems like a routine mission, investigating reports of people vanishing mysteriously near Blackthorn Lake. The lake, known for its tranquil waters and surrounded by whispers of supernatural sightings, hides something far more sinister than the brothers could have anticipated. Upon arriving in the small town of Blackthorn, Lucas, the older and more pragmatic of the two, begins gathering information. Meanwhile, Dante, impulsive and sarcastic, works on connecting with the locals. An elderly man named Hank, the owner of a cluttered antique shop filled with peculiar objects, warns them about an old legend, the Drowner. According to him, it's a creature dwelling in the lake that feeds on human souls, luring victims with visions of their deceased loved ones. Dante, ever the skeptic, brushes off the tale with a smirk, but Lucas notices a mix of fear and guilt in the old man's eyes, as if he knows more than he's saying. That night, the brothers venture into the woods surrounding the lake, armed with flashlights and weapons loaded with silver bullets, salt, and iron. Because you can never be too sure, they tread cautiously. The tension builds as footsteps echo behind them, though no one is in sight. They stumble upon an abandoned cabin by the water, its walls carved with strange symbols. Inside, they find a dusty journal telling the story of a young woman named Eleanor, who vanished over 70 years ago. Eleanor, the journal reveals, was a local who lost her fiancé in a boating accident on the lake. Her last sighting was of her walking toward the water's edge, drawn by the promise of seeing her lover again. Lucas notices something unsettling. The journal's final entries continue into the present day, as if Eleanor is still alive. While they examine the cabin, Dante hears a familiar voice. "Dante, come to me," it's their mother's voice, dead for over 15 years. Ignoring Lucas's shouts, Dante rushes outside. There, he sees their mother's silhouette beckoning him toward the lake. Her voice is soothing, but something feels wrong in the way she moves, almost as if her feet never touch the ground. Lucas arrives just in time, throwing salt at the mother figure. It dissolves into black smoke, and the brothers realize the creature is manipulating them. Determined to end the threat, Lucas digs deeper into Eleanor's journal while Dante sets traps around the cabin. They discover that the Drowner is a water entity that thrives on emotional anguish, luring its prey with illusions of hope. To kill it, they need to destroy a talisman hidden deep within the lake, a black stone heart that anchors the creature. However, accessing the talisman requires navigating powerful illusions and a hypnotic pull that draws victims underwater. At dawn, the brothers take a makeshift boat out onto the lake. The water, eerily calm, seems to pulsate as if alive. Lucas steadies the boat with a rope while Dante dives in, armed with a protective charm and a silver knife. The water is freezing, but what terrifies him more are the figures he sees beneath the surface. Familiar faces from past hunts and even their mother, all reaching for him, trying to drag him deeper. Fighting through the visions, he finally spots the talisman, a jet-black stone tangled in pulsating algae. As Dante attempts to retrieve the talisman, the water around him churns violently, and the Drowner emerges. Its true form is grotesque, translucent with glowing eyes and a shifting, nightmarish visage that reflects the fears of anyone who looks at it. From the boat, Lucas fires shots of salt and holy oil, weakening the creature just enough for Dante to wrench the talisman free. He surfaces and throws it to Lucas, who burns it with a match dipped in holy oil. The Drowner lets out a piercing scream before vanishing, and the lake returns to its deceptive stillness. Exhausted and battered, the brothers return to the cabin to collect their things. As they pack, Hank watches them from the shadows, his lips curling into a sinister smile. "You think it's over," he mutters to himself, but the lake never stays quiet for long. The story ends with the brothers driving out of town, but the camera lingers on the lake. Its surface ripples faintly, hinting that something still lurks beneath.